Hello, boys and girls. This is Dr. Vizone. I'm here today to introduce you to our year in school families. Usually each year we have an assembly where we all get together and talk about our year in school families. This year, I'm going to help get things started. I want to get us started with a little bit of data. Last year, we gave a survey to our third grade students. And something that really amazed our Anna Reynolds staff was that our third grade students last year told us that they thought that a lot of mean comments were being made, both that they were hearing and that they were even giving to other people. And this seemed very different from what we always teach in school families about bucket filling and bucket dipping. So we were very surprised about those mean comments being very common in our school, and we want to fix that problem. So we're going to spend a lot of time during school families this year learning about how we can make nice comments to each other instead and limit those mean comments to each other, because they really do hurt. So I want to reintroduce you to this book here, Have You Filled a Bucket Today? By Carol McLeod. And this story is the bucket filling book that we read each year in school families to help remind us about how bucket filling helps make others feel good and how bucket dipping makes others feel bad. But this year, we have a different book. Mrs. Alves shared with me this story here. It's called How Full Is Your Bucket for Kids? And it was written by Tom Rath and Mary Reckmeyer. And I'm going to read this story to you today. It's a variation on what we usually do. It's very similar to the story that I showed you here, Have You Filled a Bucket Today? But it's a specific story about a particular character who starts his day with some bucket dipping and then learns how to bucket fill by the end of the day. All right, so let's get started here. How full is your bucket for kids? Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. Felix scowled. "Go away, you're too little." "I'm big. Stay back, you'll knock it over." "I can be very careful. Go play with your baby toys, Anna." Well, Anna thinks in her head, Felix, he's mean. So she comes over and thwack, knocks the tower down. "Grandpa!" they both yell. Grandpa shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket?" Invisible bucket. Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. But the next morning, when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. There it is. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got this meeting this morning, and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still." Uh-oh. Felix slipped, and Choco Wheats scattered across the floor. "Felix," yelled his mom, "you should have used the stool to reach that." Felix could feel his bucket tip, and big invisible drips spill out. Drip, drip. "Ha ha," Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. "Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus," scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the Choco Wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. "Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it." Drip. "Psst, Felix, psst." Talking about Felix. There's a big drip there. "Watch out, Shrimp." Drip. It was still morning, and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. It was almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped that they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumblenickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop, drop, plop, plink, drop. The Gigantosaurus Who Wanted a Pet by me, Felix. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. When Felix finally read the end, everyone clapped, even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. Drop. Mom left him a note that says, "Love you, Mom." Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. Get some more drips in there. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. Another drip. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. Drop, drop. Let me help you. Drop. Here's your baseball catch. Or here's your baseball catch. Thanks, dude. Drop. Hi, I'm Felix. First day? Yes, I'm Amir. Drop, drop. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog!" he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her." Wah! Poor Anna's sad. Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks? And so they did. The end. So hopefully, this version of the bucket filling theme helped you to see how Felix was able to turn around some of those mean comments that he was hearing from other people by saying nice things to other people. And what I would like us to get to at Anna Reynolds this year is focus on making nice comments to other people and limiting and eliminating, getting rid of those mean comments that we say to people that dip into each other's buckets. So I hope you've enjoyed this story, and I know this year you're going to have a wonderful time in school families talking about nice things, nice comments that you can make to each other. What I'd like you to do in your classrooms right now is take a couple of minutes and first think to yourself about something nice, a nice comment that you can make to somebody else today. Maybe it's something that you noticed when you were walking in, one of your classmates is wearing something nice or has a cool backpack or lunch bag. Something nice that you can say to somebody else today. Could even be an adult in the building. So after you've taken a minute to brainstorm that, then I want you to turn and talk to a partner and share what that nice comment is that you're going to make to somebody today. Hope you've enjoyed our School Families Assembly in a little bit of a different form using technology, and have a wonderful year in School Families making nice comments to each other and filling people's buckets. Have a great day.